What were you doing before to get clients? Did you have clients? How did that start?
Yeah, so getting clients was entirely warm connections. I mean, DMing people on Airbnb and hopefully not getting banned because that's against their policy. Like, that was it. There was no real strategy.
How much were you bringing in before working with us doing those strategies?
Yeah, I was broke, dude. I was absolutely broke. Doing those strategies, it was, I mean, maybe. So I think on my last year's taxes, it was like 70 grand. I came to the epiphany on my own. I don't know when, but I came to the epiphany like, hey, I need to learn how to market and sell and acquire customers. And so I kept getting your ads and I was like, let me jump on, let me see what's going on. He clearly knows how to do it.
What type of results have you gotten since then?
So I joined in the very end of May. I have made since then $359,000 more.
What's going on, everybody? I have my client Tyler here, and he has absolutely been crushing it in the coaching space. And I wanted to bring him on here so you could jump into his business a little bit more, learn about what's working for him, so hopefully you can go and implement some yourself. So Tyler, what's going on, my man? For anyone that doesn't know who you are, you want to give a quick 1,000-foot overview?
Yeah, for sure. So I am in the Airbnb space. Everyone focuses on real estate, the side of getting deals, finding properties, and I focus on the side of let's actually make them profitable. And so I run a coaching and consulting business, and I'm under a year. I'm under a year in this space, and I have already passed $250,000 in cash. So I'm excited to get into it, though.
That's pretty impressive, man. What were you doing before this?
So prior to this, I was a manager for In-N-Out Burger. I was flipping burgers and serving hamburgers. And after that, I went into entrepreneurship. I was doing all kinds of random things, just trying to figure it out. Eventually, my fiance convinced me to load up my credit cards and start an Airbnb and do arbitrage. I did reasonably well. I learned a ton. And then I figured, you know what? I can help other people do this. And that's how I got here.
So when did you join and start working with me and my company?
So I started at the very end of May. Very, very end of May. Really started in June. But yeah, started in June. So coming up on a year working with you.
Amazing, man. And congrats on all of your success recently. I mean, for a year in this business model, a little over a year, that's amazing to hear. I mean, what were you doing like when you first started doing this? What were you doing before to get clients? Did you have clients? How did that start?
Yeah, so getting clients was entirely warm connections. I mean, DMing people on Airbnb and hopefully not getting banned because that's against their policies. Like, that was it. There was no real strategy. It was freaking pray, dude. A lot of prayer for clients.
Yeah. So how much were you bringing in per month before working with us doing those strategies?
Yeah, I was broke, dude. I was absolutely broke. Doing those strategies, it was, I mean, maybe. So I think on my last year's taxes, it was like 70 grand. 70 grand. Like, not even good. Part of that is from the sale of that Airbnb that I sold for like 20 grand. I was making nothing. I was broke.
Wow. So you invested into our program.
Yep.
How was that at the time? Because clearly, if you're not making a lot of money, then sometimes it's a little bit of a scary investment. How did you make that work?
Yeah, so I'm a really big believer in the concept of like skills pay the bills, right? Like, if you have the skill to do something, then you will make more money. And I came to the epiphany on my own. I don't know when, but I came to the epiphany like, hey, I need to learn how to market and sell and acquire customers. And so I kept getting your ads, and I was like, man, let me jump on, let me see what's going on. He clearly knows how to do it, okay? And so I jumped on, and I remember being hit with the price, and I was like, holy crap. Like, not in any world do I have that. But I remember thinking like, but man, this is a customer acquisition strategy. I just need to learn one to really unlock like all the opportunity there is in business. And so I remember I was talking with my fiance about it at the dinner table, and my mother-in-law was there. And she asked, like, what is he talking about? Why is he so like enthusiastic about what he's talking about? And she told him, and she 100% said, I'll help you out. I'll let you borrow the money to be able to start.
So you borrowed the money from your fiance's mom to get started to learn how to run ads to scale up this coaching business.
That's exactly right.
That's phenomenal,
Yeah.
man. And what type of results have you gotten since then?
The exact number. So I joined in the very end of May. I have made since then $359,000 in revenue. It's
That's amazing, dude.
so
That's
whatever
amazing.
whatever the ROAS is on that. Yeah.
So do you think, looking back on it, that it was obviously a risky move on your part, for sure? I mean, your
Yeah.
fiance's mom could have disowned you if things didn't work out well. But
Yeah.
looking back on that, do you think that was, I mean, obviously that was a good investment. Like, what would you tell yourself or somebody else maybe in your shoes that's like looking at this, like, I know I need something like this, but they're scared away from a price factor?
I think that a couple things come to mind. Like specifically on the price factor thing, the further you go, like the longer you try, especially online education, alternative education, the more you realize like you get what you pay for. If you pay for the $20 thing, the $15 master class, like you get a $15 or a $20 thing. Like it's the price of a cheeseburger. Like what are you expecting? Okay. But on the flip side, like what would I tell someone if they were in my exact same position where it's like, I know I just need to learn the skill to be able to completely change the life, like my life, my fiance's, like I have a kid, like to be able to completely change the course is like, it's one thing to be able to say like, I know this is a skill I need, but the other is like, there should be a point where you're willing to do an insane amount of work where it's like, whether or not Justin's the best of the best and he's got freaking a crystal ball and a magic wand, or he's just got something that's like, hey, this is just the system, it works. Like the work ethic that goes in on the back end, I knew that like whatever it was, I would do so much that it was unreasonable to fail. Like it would be unreasonable if I failed. It would be completely unreasonable to not succeed. And so that was the thing is like, I think that in the position I was in, it's like, if you're actually about it, then be about it. Like, don't just talk about it.
Exactly. And you said something interesting earlier where you said skills pay the bills. You took a big bet on yourself, and I first of all want to just applaud you for that. Not many people do that. And you're clearly someone that talks the walk, or talks the talk and walks the walk.
Yeah.
We're going down that route. You've you had joined our accelerator program. You
Right.
borrowed money to get in there because you didn't have money to join it. And then after seeing success in there, then you upgraded to our elite program. So you're clearly someone that, as you say, it's like the skills pay the bills. We get a lot of people that reach out to us, talk to us, and they're like, I've invested in a mentor in the past, things didn't work out, or I already know how to do this, but I don't know how to do this, but I can figure it out just watching YouTube videos. You've clearly shortcut a lot of the learning curve. What would you say to someone that's kind of in that space of like, I've been burned in the past, or I can just figure out everything on YouTube myself?
Yeah. Yeah. So the first thing is like, I can figure everything out on YouTube and podcasts. Like there's a wealth of information on the internet. And there was something that I heard that honestly, this might've been the thing that hit really hard is I was listening to a podcast and the guy said, everyone who's listening to this podcast, everyone who's listening to this informational and educational content has listened to the same type of content 1,000 fucking times, and they haven't changed a single thing. And so you're taking education and pretending to be growing and improving, but really you're just entertaining yourself. Like, and so I think the thing that's like the big difference with actually walking the walk is like, put down the freaking podcast, put down the content, and actually apply something, right? And I think like once I was able to admit like, okay, I'm just entertaining myself, whether or not I'm learning or not, like if the action doesn't change, then it's just entertainment. You haven't actually learned. And so I think I just was tired of that. Tired of like, it's cool to be able to know a bunch of stuff and have an opinion on business stuff, but until you do it, like, what are you talking about, dude?
Kind of becomes like you're either a producer or a consumer. And when you're at
Yep.
that point, you're just, like you said, consuming so much. And consuming's not bad unless you're not implementing on it. So I think what you said on there is a really solid point.
Yeah. Yeah. I think something else on that is like, one of the things that I've made really big in my company is collecting information that doesn't change behavior is just noise. And so if you don't actually do anything with it, it's just wasting time and diluting your focus. And I think that was a really big thing that I didn't realize was so important when I first jumped in. Is a lot of people would DM me when I would share my wins, and they would say like, "Dude, what's your secret? Like, what are you doing? Like, how'd you grow so fast?" And genuinely, the answer was like, honestly, I just did exactly what they said all the time, a lot. That was it. Like there's no, I don't know. It's
You
not like you're
did. You
sprinkling
did.
glitter on my head or
100%.
something.
I remember you hopping on the calls and like every time we told you to do something, you would just go implement it. And it's the
Yeah.
speed of implementation.
Yeah.
So I love to hear that, man. What do you think like obviously there's a lot of things that we teach and preach and help inside a company. What are the top three things for you that you learned and you think were the most important in order to scale and grow and scale your business?
Yeah, yeah. I think the first one was simultaneously a belief and like a lack of understanding is being able to spend money on ads. I don't know if you can blur it out, but like I felt like if I spent money on ads, it'd just be like, sorry, Zuck. Like, like that's. I felt like I would just burn money on advertising because I tried to run ads in the past and it was like I didn't know what I was doing. I had no clue what I was doing, and so I think like that was one of the biggest things that I learned is like, okay, you have to spend money to learn on ads, but the fact that you provided data around it, you have KPIs and metrics to track to know, okay, I'm spending, but am I actually learning or am I just wasting? That was a big change
Did
because
you
that was a hurdle.
understand KPIs previously?
Yeah, so I knew what KPIs were, right? Like I knew that we needed to, for anyone, key performance indicators, right? I knew, okay, you do need to track stuff, but it's almost like one of the sayings that I really like is like, it's not the quality of the tool, but the craftsman that uses it, right? And the idea is it doesn't matter whether you have super nice, brand new, fancy tools or really old ones from grandpa's shop. What matters is the way that you use it. And so I think that people are looking for like a super brand new whatever special magic tool that they can get on the freaking TikTok shop. But really, it's like, dude, just use the tried and true tools, like tried and true methods. And so I think that was the big thing is like, I don't think there was like a million different aspects. Like obviously there's a ton of like little sub skills, like how to track KPIs for ads or like how to properly test creatives, like how to properly set up your funnel so that, right? Like there's all those little things. But to say like any one of those particular is like, no, like, cause that on its own, like you can watch a YouTube video, but it doesn't mean anything. So
Exactly.
yeah.
So first one, ads. What else would you say would be the next two like most important things to help you grow?
Yeah, I think the second thing to help me grow was I think this might sound like less of a skill, but more of like a mindset thing is like being surrounded with people who are also achieving really big things. So right after joining AIA, things went really well. So I joined Elite. And when I joined Elite, it was just, I mean, dude, there's people doing slapping 60K, 70K, like other Justin, like doing 250 or whatever, like 100, you know what I mean? Like just crazy numbers. And so when you get around those people, you realize like they're normal human beings, right? They're absolutely normal humans. They're not, I don't know, crazy with magic powers or anything. And so it just gives a lot more context as to like, okay, it's just the actions. And so that was a really big thing that I learned is like, it's just the actions that matter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
really good point. And I agree 100%. It's being around the right type of people to prove that it can be done. So
Yeah.
I love that. Ads, community. What would be the last third thing that you think would be like the
I
most important?
yeah, I think the third thing that's kind of the sleeper is I didn't realize I no, the skill, I think the third thing would be sales. Learning how to sell, getting better at selling, understanding what sales actually is and how it works has made a massive difference. Because when I first came in, I thought like, oh, sales is like whatever. If it's a good product, it'll sell. Which of course, if it's a good product, it sells. But actually being able to sell and having like feels like 75 different calls a week of like sales training. It's like you get better. You actually learn how to improve. And I think the reason that I would say that's the third one on the list or like that's also up there is because it just creates so much more predictability.
Yeah.
Overall, that's a big thing is the predictability in customer acquisition.
That's a good point. And exactly to your point as well, too, is like, you say skills pay the bills. Obviously, once you get the marketing down, a lot of people think kind of the same thing. It's like, well, if I could just get marketing, I can get more sales. But they don't understand that it's not just sales. Closing cold traffic compared to like warm traffic of people that already know, like, and trust you is a completely different game. And clearly, those are skills that you've developed. And now, I mean, you're at the point you were saying before this call that you're at the biggest your team's ever been. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah. So I actually just brought on um, one more person, and we are now at 6 team members, so 7 including me. So
That's
absolutely
amazing.
awesome.
Who's
Yeah,
all,
that's
break it down. Like you got sales reps, you got setters, what you got?
yeah. So first I hired a setter. That was like 2 3 months in. So someone running my DMs. Okay. First was a setter. Then I brought someone on for customer fulfillment. So helping me fulfill all the clients that I'm bringing in because there's too many. Then I brought in someone for helping with marketing. So they now help me with organic ads creation, monitoring my KPIs for ads, things like that. So I can keep a tighter watch on things, but also continue to push volume. After that, I brought on 2 VAs. One is specifically just for fulfillment and helping fulfill clients. And then the other one is almost like a, I feel bad. She's like a Swiss Army knife, just more like an executive assistant, just helping all over the place. And then the most recent one was a closer, a high ticket closer. He's a beast.
So when we're in Bali on this mastermind where I'm about to see you at, you're gonna have a closer being able to close calls while you're in a different country with a bunch of 7 and 8 figure entrepreneurs just having a great time in a different country.
Yeah, 6 days from today, I will be on a flight for 24 hours straight, and I will be checking my phone in between on layovers, and I will see closed deals. I will see 5 figures coming in all the time. Yeah, that's exactly right. I will have multiple 5 figure days while I'm in Bali hanging out with awesome entrepreneurs.
I might have to like clip that and make that like the intro to tell the team, but that's
Yeah.
amazing, dude. That's honestly no, I think like that's why we do this, and that's why we've kind of built the programs that we have. Is like, you know, I've always my dream at least has always been to work with really cool people that I would consider friends like yourself and be able to travel the world and make a lot of money together. And just seeing you evolve from the point of literally coming in with, you know, as a one person show, how do I get more clients? How do I grow to the point where now we're going to be able to be in Bali together, and you know you'll be able to jump up on those coconut trees and get as many coconuts as you want. It's an inside joke, guys. But while also having a team to do, man, it's amazing to see, and truly proud of you, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, it's been absolutely life changing. Like, I literally started at, I mean, less than $600 in ad spend a day, or like, not a day, 600 bucks in ad spend in a month. Now I'm spending almost that a day. Like, how crazy is that? You know?
Just to start,
Yeah,
just to start.
just to start, just to start. Yeah, it's honestly really cool. Like, um, the position that I'm in now is just so different. Like, I travel with you guys with Elite once a quarter, and it's crazy because the fiance is like, I love that you get to go, but like, man, that's not fair. You get rewarded for your hard work. What about me? And it's the coolest thing to be able to be like, you know what, you're right. Let's go once a quarter too. Like that type of stuff just doesn't exist for most people because they're not willing to say like, I don't know as much as I think I know, and like just learn.
I love that.
Like,
I
yeah,
love that.
best
Well,
ROI ever.
Ty, last question for you, man. For anyone that's on the fence or considering joining AIA or Elite, what would you say to them?
If you're like, no, I know that I just need one client acquisition strategy. Like, I just need a model that works and I can follow it. I can put in the work. I can put in the time. Like, I can actually do this. I just need something that I know actually works. Then do it. Absolutely. Best return on investment of my freaking life. Yeah.
I love to hear it, brother. For anyone that's watching this, where's the best place they can find you at?
Oh, Instagram. For sure, Instagram or the taco stand. That's a great burrito place.
What's your IG username? We'll also drop in the comments, but
My Instagram is Tyler H. Lyons. If you have an Airbnb that needs some help, I got you.
he's the man to go to. Well, dude, appreciate you taking time out of your day and hopping on this call.
Of course, dude. Talk soon. See you in Bali.